Morning, guys. Happy Wednesday morning. I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my health, wellness, things that smell good, tea, candles, whatever I feel like talking about channel, sometimes planning my life. I'm just doing these check-ins because I said that I would, and I'm following through. I don't know if they're helpful for anybody else, but they're helpful for me. Today, we're going to talk about balance because when I was working with my planner, I was kind of identifying 6 areas of my life that were not where I kind of totally wanted them to be. And I was setting goals around those areas. And now that we're chugging down the road, like we're going with it, it's so funny because it's like you pay attention to one thing and then the other one kind of like drifts off. And then you're doing really well in this one area and then something else drifts off. For example, I was doing really well with really being consistent with my workouts and my eating and kind of on a plan, and like I just wanted to ramp it up. And then in the last week or so, I kind of noticed, mostly due to like feelings I was having, to be honest, my eating was falling off a little bit. I went out to dinner with some family and that was really, really nice and it was a good experience, but I had that moment where I could have made the like really boring healthy choice that I didn't really want, or I could have had the kind of yummier thing that I wanted, and I went for the yummier thing. I don't know that I regret that, except that I noticed it kind of threw me off for the next 24 hours. Like the whole next day, I was kind of like thrown off of my equilibrium in terms of my eating, like in terms of intermittent fasting and like my carb cravings and my sugar cravings. Do you know what I mean? And excuse me, I'm dry. I'm parched. Okay. I'm about to start work. It's Wednesday morning. I'm working from home. I got a giant jug of water. I always tell you guys what I'm drinking. I got my cute little Japanese mug full of coffee. That's better. Okay. I was talking about balance. The thing is, life is like a giant flatbed truck. Okay. This is what's come to me in the past year or so when I've been kind of looking at, just thinking about life and just thinking about life in general in like a long-term kind of context. Life is like a flatbed truck and you're hurtling down the highway and traffic's not slowing down, so you got to keep up with it, right? You don't get to like once in a while you pull over, but like for the most part, you've got to keep going. It hits a bump. It hits a bump like this restaurant meal, right? And then something else flies off the back and then you got to pull over to the shoulder, go get the thing, put it back on the truck. But like everything else is kind of balanced there too. And you try and tie it down, but like things are flying off all the time. And I realized it's ridiculous to think that I'm going to have all of this tied down and that it's never going to fly off. It is. There's bumps in the road, there's wind, there's corners. Life's not this like nice, straight, perfect little, there's rain. Stuff is going to fly off the truck. You got to pull over, you got to get it back on. And it's just kind of like that fall down, get back up, fall down, get back up. So instead of like beating myself up for being like, oh my God, I'm so weak, and like I said I was, I set all these goals for how I was going to eat and everything. God, sorry. I'm like, I got a lot of hair this morning. Um, instead of beating myself up, I'm just like, yeah, okay, truck hit a bump, get back up. Truck hit a bump, get back up. The more that I'm kind of taking that attitude towards life, I'm realizing that like it's just a reiteration. It's just like always setting a goal, heading towards the goal, veering off course. You eventually will get there. It won't be as perfectly fast as you think it's going to be. For instance, in the fall, I'm going to start a workout program. There's like I made a little chart there. It's 100 workouts. It's called Morning Meltdown 100 from Beachbody. I've done it before in the past. I think I have a video from a million years ago where it took me an actual year to do those 100 workouts, which is really funny. It's supposed to kind of take you like 3 months, I guess. I don't know. It depends how you do it. You can double up workouts. It doesn't really have a specific way. It has options of how you can undergo it. My goal is to finish these 100 workouts starting September, like Labor Day weekend, and finish it before New Year's. Okay. So I've set myself a little goal. The thing is, that looks easy. Oh, 100 workouts, like that should take you 3 months and you should have all this extra time left and you should be done early. But what I know is that 100 workouts doesn't take 100 days. 100 workouts, because you're going to get sick one day, or someone's in from out of town, or you think you're going to get it done at lunchtime, but then one of your kids comes home and they need something, and they have a job interview you need to drive them to, or whatever. Like, stuff falls off the truck, right? So building in that understanding into what you're doing is really helpful, because it gives you some grace and you can still keep going down the road, guys. A couple things, areas where I'm getting some wins. I just wanted to say, I bought myself, excuse me, God, I'm a mess this morning. I'm getting it done though. Okay. I wanted to be more artistic and more creative, and I was finding that I wasn't getting the time or making the time to do that. One thing I did when I was on my lunch break at work one time is I went to the bookstore and I got myself a cute little thing of watercolor pencils. This was like $10, and then this like $15 adorable little sketchbook. And I'm keeping these in my purse because they weigh nothing. And I found that on my lunch break one day, I just sat and did this. I was next to a garden, and I'm not Picasso, but it's just, this was so relaxing compared to like sitting there and scrolling my phone for an hour. I made a little piece of art, and I feel more accomplished because of that. I'd love to fill this up with, this is my little lunchtime thing, but I don't have to do it every time. It's just, it's there. So I'm creating an environment where I can actually reach those goals without it having to be a big thing. I am trying to read one book a month. That's my sort of brain development. I did finish a book last month. What was it called? It's called The Glass Hotel. Don't ask me the author. I have Menno brain. And that was really good. The Glass Hotel was a great book. I recommend it. It's by the same author that wrote Station 11. This month, it's already like 2/3 through August. I haven't started it yet, but it's a Harlan Coben. Hold tight. These are great. There's been some Netflix movies that have been done off of his books. My husband bought me a bunch of used copies as a present one time. What's hilarious about these is that in the time they were written, a lot of them were written in like the 90s, 2000s, whatever. I don't know, long enough ago that like the cell phone technology we have now would have solved a lot of the problems that people were having, but they're back in like, it's just a little antique in terms of the technology. I kind of like that. There's something oddly restful about the nostalgia of living in a time when like AOL was a thing. So that's my book. Money, that's a whole other conversation we're not going to talk about. I'm just looking here. I've been doing awesome, guys, with just going out once every 2 weeks and really attacking the garden. I let the garden go. There was just lots of weeds, and psychologically spending like 3 hours and just attacking it and like feeling so exhausted at the end, but seeing like clear ground again and like feeling like I'm taking back control of my life has felt really, really good. So this is my check-in. I gotta get to work. But I appreciate your patience with me posting these, because I'm finding this process really encouraging. Okay, happy Wednesday. Let's do it. Get back up again. Put it on the truck.